So I want to tell you a story, a tale about why I no longer own a Langdon Tactical PX4 Storm compact carry. But Doc, you say, isn't that a Langdon Tactical PX4 Storm compact carry? Nope, it's not. It's actually a stock PX4 Storm that I had customized. Most people won't even care. This video will likely get less than 1,000 views, and according to my wife, probably less than 10. But I don't care. I need people to know about my experience, because the gun tube narrative leans the other way. I'm not military, I'm not law enforcement, I'm not a GM level shooter, I'm not a YouTuber, I'm not a professional end user. I'm just a regular guy who really likes to shoot, who has a friend who's dumb enough to edit several hours worth of video footage for me. I've taken courses with Mike Pannone, Scott Jedlinski, Northern Red, Ashton Ray, just to name a few. I own Staccatos, SIGs, Glocks, Berettas, CZs, even an Alien. But the PX4 Storm compact carry from Langdon was the only gun that I've had issues with. Literally a dumpster fire. To my haters, yep, I'm reading from a script. Yep, I'm a little pudgy. Yep, I have medium-sized hands, and you might hear a toddler running around somewhere. Yep, I can improve my shooting technique. But guess what? I'm working on it. Except for the hands. And kind of trying to figure out how to offload that toddler. Anyway, this isn't Garand Thumb. This isn't 1911 Syndicate. Do not expect high production value. Just expect raw shooting footage with repeated malfunctions, as well as my hot takes and my collected thoughts. So for those of you who haven't been watching gun videos on YouTube for the last 6 months, I'm going to give you a smidgen of background on the PX4. So initially, Beretta released it in 2004, and then in 2016, in collaboration with Ernest Langdon, they released the PX4 Storm compact carry, a smaller carry version. It was initially designed as a military and law enforcement squirrel. So initially, it was released by Beretta in 2004, and in collaboration with Ernest Langdon in 2016, they released a compact carry version. Initially, the gun was designed around the .40 caliber and then was scaled down to 9mm. It's fielded in 18 countries by military and law enforcement units, and also 7 U.S. law enforcement units. It is a duty gun. So let's get into my experience. So I purchased the Langdon Tactical PX4 Storm compact carry in January of 2024 for the low price of $2,419.21. It was shipped to me the first week of April. I took it out and immediately started having problems. And over the course of several months and 2 RMAs, eventually we decided to ship it back to Langdon for a refund around June 1st. But why? Please reference paragraph 4, subsection 3, literally a dumpster fire. So let's talk about my concerns with the actual firearm first. Not this one. This one's mine, I like it. But the Langdon version. So I had constant failures to feed with 4 separate lots of ammunition. Good ammunition, Federal, Fiocchi, Blazer, no problem. Usually with that type of ammunition. I had inconsistent lockback on the slide. Oh, this is interesting. So the slide release is not entirely engaged there. Did you see? Hopefully I got that in frame. I had to kind of push it up a little bit. It was just barely out. One incidence of auto forwarding of the slide when I wasn't interacting with anything on the gun. Multiple incidences of not going into battery with activation of the slide stop, slide release, whatever you want to call it. Several instances of not going into battery with an overhand rack, which was very bizarre to me. No, I can't. Okay. And then inconsistent issues with the decocker not activating or deactivating, and a freaking partridge in a pear tree. Just a whole slew of all kinds of problems. I am a left-handed person, and I hate shooting left-handed because I'm right-eye dominant and I've always shot right-handed, so it kind of stinks when I have to go outside my comfort zone and do the left-handed stuff, but it's important. Definitely important to practice. Alright, let's see. We'll start from the other side entirely. Ooh man, this is going to be real weird because I haven't shot this gun at all. Left-handed, yeah. Just not, feels weird. Definitely feels weird. Alright, here we go. Alright, so I'm going to come over. My hand position did not change at all. My hand position did not change at all. I was not touching the slide purposely. I was not interacting with the slide stop. And I was shooting left-handed. Maybe it was a limp wrist. Maybe it was a limp wrist. Potentially, but all right, so this is how good this gun is. And over the hand, or over the slide rack, doesn't even go into battery. Like, what is that? What is that? I mean, now we're just doing it for fun. Okay. Let's talk about my concerns with customer service. So when I initially got the gun, I took it out the first week of April, and within the first magazine or two, I was having failures to go into battery. So I shot maybe 250, 300 rounds through it just to see if there was a break-in period, of which there was not. It was inconsistently inconsistent. It kept doing it, and it was very hard to predict when it was going to happen. All right. Okay. When I contacted Langdon, they said, sure, we'll take it back, but we're unable to test fire our firearms before we send them out, which is a little strange to me for a custom firearm shop that makes really high-end guns, especially for something that costs $2,400. I would expect that at least they would make sure it ran before they sent it out, but whatever, that's their business practice, I guess. So I sent it back to them. I get it back a week or two later, and I'm starting to have the exact same malfunctions again. More than just, well, chambered, that's good. Okay, hopefully that's in frame for you to see. Give it a lug tap. Go back to double so we can try over, start over. Okay, that was in single. And that's not going to go into battery. So we're done with that mag. We'll try the rest. Oh, it's ready. Okay. Okay, well, at least I got him at the end there. So I emailed customer service again, and through a series of emails back and forth, they eventually decided to get Amy Langdon involved. I had requested to talk with Ernest Langdon at some point just to see what he thought was going on. Amy the customer service people wanted to have footage of the malfunctions, and they insinuated that I may be inducing the malfunction in some way. So I obliged, and I got a bunch of footage of it happening. I sent that over to Amy, since she was supposed to be my contact person, my point person, and she replied saying, oh, all the footage needs to go through customer service. It's busy today. Really busy. All right. And then a few days later, I actually got a call directly from Ernest Langdon himself. And it was actually a pretty good phone call. We talked for about 20 minutes, and he had reviewed the footage. We talked about shooting in general, my technique, the PX4. He said that he actually thought I was a competent shooter, and he could tell that I'd trained a decent amount. And he was pretty confident that it was the extractor on the PX4, because occasionally there will be an issue with the extractor hanging up on the shell casing as it loads into the chamber. So they were going to rework the extractor, they'll fix it, they'll get it back out to me. I said, okay, yeah, that sounds great, let's do it. So I sent it back to him. If it's any different, yeah, go ahead. Yep. Use your thumb. There you go.
Is that okay?
You can push it up.
Thumbs?
Mm-hmm.
Are they where you want them?
No, they're good. They're good. Got a good grip.
Don't
Yep.
like that.
Remember. There it is. Can you set the gun down? Three weeks go by. No contact from Ernest, Amy, or the customer service team. So I reached out to customer service. No response for several days. I texted Ernest and said, hey, what's going on? I just want to know kind of where we sit. And he said, oh yeah, they tested the gun a couple weeks ago, maybe 1-2 weeks ago. They should have reached out to you, but they didn't. Well, I'll see if I can put the screws to them, and they'll reach out to you. We'll get it going. So then I got another email from customer service saying, oh yeah, we're done with the gun. It didn't have any malfunctions for us. We reworked the extractor before and after we shot the gun, and no problems. We'll get it out to you. But the head of customer service did say that they'd spent hundreds of dollars in shipping costs at this point, and they didn't really want to ship it back to me if I was just going to have more problems with it. So I needed to kind of make a final decision. I said, if you're confident that it's going to work, I'll take it back. So we shipped it back to me. I received the gun back sometime at the end of May, and then upon testing that week, within the first few magazines, I had more malfunctions. Probably 6 or 7 malfunctions within 50 to 100 rounds. The same issues that I was having before with failure to go into battery. So I emailed customer service again, the same email that I had been going through for months, and interestingly enough, got an automated reply that stated that the customer service email was no longer being monitored, was no longer in service, and then I needed to contact them through a different means through the website, which didn't sit very well with me. Kind of weird that they would shut down their customer service. I don't know, seems strange. So I emailed the head of customer service directly, since I had his email, and stated that I wanted a refund. This gun was not safe for me or to protect my family, and I wanted to send it back. So, as you can see, it's reproducible, multiple different types of ammo. I think I just want a refund. It's a non-functional gun. I cannot trust this gun to protect me or my family. I was really excited about this, but this is just not the way that I wanted it to go. And I just can't trust the weapon. I can't.
or the work, since obviously it's already been sent back once and you couldn't identify the issue. So I'd like you to reach out to me and we can figure out how to start with the refund process, because this is a non-functional gun, and I don't think I could ever carry this. Even a new gun, I don't think I could trust it. I'm sorry.
A few days later, I got a very sterile email saying, okay, send it back, we'll give you a refund. And then Ernest Langdon reached out to me a few days later and said, I think I know what the problem is. And this time I hadn't requested a phone call. I just was sending the gun back in. I wanted the refund. He said, I reviewed the footage and I can tell what's going on. It's your thumbs. Your thumbs are hanging up on the slide, and that's causing enough pressure on the slide so it's not going into battery. Wait, what? I've never had that happen with any other firearm. Even my Beretta 92, which has a similar double single action mechanism. That didn't sit very well with me. Initially, it was the gun. Oh yeah, the extractor. I looked at your footage, looked great. And then it became my problem when they couldn't fix it twice. Not a great experience, especially for a custom $2,400 carry gun. So I sent it back, I got a refund, and then what did I do? I bought a stock one, and I got it cut for a dot. And guess what? I've run 600-700 rounds through that one without a single malfunction. So these are the last 15 of the Fiocchi Range Dynamics 115 grain, which the Langdon would not run to save its life, or to save my life. So that's that. So we've gone through 150, about 200 rounds here without a single malfunction or failure. So the stock PX4 Storm and I get along. Not a shooter incompatibility issue like what Langdon told me. So, I don't know. The other one's going back. I'm going to send him this slide for a red dot cut, and then I'm done with him. Thanks, guys. Kind of weird. Just, I don't know. That's my experience. I just wanted people to know how Langdon does business. It wasn't a great time. So, signing off, this is the Pop Doctor. I may or may not be a doctor.